Well, let's start off with Keegen coming back. You know, you had a few injuries, but what was it like coming back to this defense, especially tonight with this big shutout here?
I feel like it was great. I actually felt better tonight than I did before my injury, so it was actually a great night to come back, and it was a great game to play and be back from my injuries. So it was a great game to be back.
And it was a rush attack. That was their number one thing. What did you guys have to do to kind of knock that out tonight?
We just made sure to stay low, keep our pad level where we're supposed to be, and with the bigger guys, we just move our feet, and they went right down. We didn't have a problem with them at all. And
this is the third MEC win for this program this year. That is a pretty big deal. What's it like picking this up? It's been a while, you know?
I'm insanely proud of this program and all the guys we get to play with. I've been playing with these guys all my life. It's just amazing that we get to do this all together.
And Bryson, you know, the offense had a couple weird quirks there in those first few series, but you guys really tightened it up after that. What happened there on the field?
Well, Coach kind of just called a timeout, and he told us we need to get our stuff straight, and we need to get our head back into the game. And then once we heard that, we all talked to each other, and we're like, it's time to go. And that's what happened. We went out.
And the passing game, yourself included, got started. You know, that's the first time you guys have really been running on all cylinders like that this year. It seems like what's going on there? What was it like just being a part of that offense tonight?
It felt amazing. I mean, practice, we always run quick offense. We try to do all the pass plays we possibly can, and we try to get it to where we can run fast and we can outwear them by our tempo. And it felt amazing just to know that we did that tonight.
And 30 points 2 weeks in a row, that is quite a feat. How do you feel about getting the momentum and moving forward?
Oh, I feel great about it. I'm so ready for next week.
That's about saying, Marshall. And Cam, 12 tackles. Quite a feat yourself, 7 assists. What was going on there tonight? Were you just finding the holes? What was happening?
Just staying on my keys, like Coach White said. Stay on your keys, you win the ball game. Defense wins games. So that just had to happen tonight, and surely enough it did.
I was about to say, what was going on there with the defense? You guys were really just flying to the ball. Whether it was what was giving you guys the advantage this week?
I mean, it's our keys, man. I mean, it's like you study for a test, and you just come in knowing your answers, and you ace it, and that's what we did tonight.
And how do you feel about this team? Strong performance after a previous strong performance. How do you feel about moving forward, especially the playoffs start in just a couple of weeks now?
2 weeks, yeah, we're definitely ready. I wouldn't say we're ready for playoffs. We got to get past Marshall first. But I think we're all ready to come in Monday, put in some film, condition, run. I mean, we'll be ready.
And a final question for all three of you guys. Of course, everyone's excited for the playoffs. You know, it kind of makes you look ahead to certain things. But what do you guys have to do to kind of keep yourself grounded and not look beyond Marshall? What do you have to do there?
That's one of our rules in our locker room. We don't look past Friday. We take it day by day, play by play. I mean, that's just how we run our team. It's one of our mottos.
All right.
It's week by week. We don't worry about the future. We don't worry about the past. When Monday practice comes, we worry about that practice, and then the next day we worry about that practice until that day comes. We don't worry about any other team.
All right.
Yeah, we just make sure all our effort goes into the next team. We don't care about the week after that. We just make sure that we're ready as we can be for the next team so we can whoop them and get to the next play.
Mistakes we made. We talked about it at halftime. We challenged them a little bit, and I thought it was a very, very different second half.
What specifically did you say at halftime, and what did you feel like when you talk about your team having a better second half? What do you feel like you guys did better after halftime?
Well, we pride ourselves on tempo, and you can't tempo if you're jogging out of the fire huddle, or if once we get the signal again, we just slowly slide over. We had motion penalties because we weren't set outside when we're bringing the motion. That can never happen. You got to get yourself set immediately so we can bring that motion and keep the tempo. And they know it, and they know it. You know, like I told them the game, I said, we made a lot of mistakes tonight. We weren't the team that we wanted to be early, and you still won a ball game 42-0. I think it says a lot about what we could be if we get those problems hammered out.
You know, Benton has kind of some bigger linemen than you see from a lot of the teams you face throughout the year. How did you feel about your offensive and defensive line's physicality and their ability?
Well, when those two big boys were good, when they weren't winded, they're pretty strong. They got hands inside, and we were having an issue early. But when we started tempo a bit, and again, it wasn't what we liked, but when we started tempo a little bit, they got tired. And you'd look out there, and neither one were out there on the field because they're having to get a break, and then we were able to run the ball inside. We ran the ball on the perimeter more tonight than we have all year long because I wanted those big guys to have to run. And once you soften them up and they get tired, now we can run the ball between the tackles. So we had a plan, and I thought that worked pretty well. But you know, overall, hey, we won a football game. That's awesome. I mean, the kids were able to right themselves a little bit. Our tempo was a little bit better. In the second half, we just didn't have a lot of opportunities with the running clock, and you know, you're limited a bit with what you want to call when you're up like that. You don't want to do it wrong.
When you talk about next week, you've got the last game of the regular season against Marshall. What are you looking to see out of that? It's the last tune-up before districts. What do you want to see next week?
Well, we haven't looked at Marshall. We haven't played Marshall. And the last time I played Marshall was in Kirksville in the 90s. So you know, we don't know yet, you know, what they've got. But, hey, our thing is always the same. We're going to find a way to get better. We have to get better from what we did. You know, Marshall they're a good football team. I've talked to a couple. I haven't seen them, but I've talked to a couple coaches that says they got size inside and they got a couple kids that can run. So if you got speed in high school football, you can make some things happen.
Last question. Ty Campbell makes a 31-yard quarterback sneak. You ever seen a quarterback sneak that long?
No, I have not. You kind of, our center just got a little bit of a push, and then he turned that nose out, and everybody else filled outside. You kind of saw him spin off of it. To me, it was almost like slow motion, like, oh my God, there's nobody there, you know. And then if Ty gets out in the open, you're not going to catch him. You know? So that was pretty good. That's a pretty good deal.
Coach Wallace, thanks a bunch. Good win tonight. Good luck next week.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully you got it. Yeah. Did you get it? All right. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks for always calling in. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And no, he answered a lot of my questions already, but you know, had a couple of hiccups there. What'd you say to your boys? Kind of clear that up. Of course, one was a stand-up strip fumble that, other than drop to your knees, you can't really correct that much. But what'd you say to your team to kind of get them back on track after the third possession there?
Well, we just kind of challenged them at halftime to be us. You know, we tempo people. That's what we do. We get them tired, and then we're able to do some things. You know, our tempo wasn't what we wanted it to be. You know, when we weren't hustling to the line, we weren't getting ourselves set. That's why we're having those motion penalties. We weren't set outside, and we're bringing our motion. We're not moving the way that we're supposed to. And, you know, and like I said here a bit earlier, we were not as focused as we needed to be coming into this game. And the kids know it. We talked about it at halftime. We challenged them a little bit at halftime to pick it up. And they did, and I felt pretty good about that. Again, we were a little limited what I felt like I could call in the second half. When you're up, you know, there's just a right way and a wrong way to do it. We're not going to do it the wrong way. So,
and like I said, he answered a lot of my questions already. But this team, close win over a strong Lafayette, blowout win over a good Benton team. Of course, Chillicothe before. How do you feel? This team just seems like it's picking up momentum. Kind of ring rust a little bit last week, but now it's just all cylinders are hitting. It seems like
we still have our best game out there. We have not played our best game yet. And having our guys gone as long as they were, and then getting them back. I mean, there's still some rust that we're shaking off because of this COVID issue, and they know it. Mm-hmm. But they work hard in practice every day. So again, our best game is still out there.